Back with another Roundabout Wimbledon. We're here with two esteemed British tennis writers, Stuart Fraser from the Times and Barry Flatman from the Sunday Times. So the first question is the killer question. How do you survive without Andy?
Well, we've got Kyle Edmund, future Grand Slam champ, as some believe, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, that's he's still going in the tournament for now, last Brit left, so we're surviving at the moment.
Now, a lot of people don't know, but Barry does a very good imitation of Andy Murray, so it must be particularly hard for you, Barry, to not have him in the tournament.
I'm under therapy at the moment, Tom. I mean, I wake up in tears every morning knowing that he's not playing. But it has been a very, very frustrating year trying to get the truth of what is happening about Andy Murray. And you were here on Saturday afternoon when he said that barring a catastrophe, he would be playing, and then less than 24 hours later, he's not playing. So that is the kind of working life we have been living for the last year.
Well, that would put me in therapy, so I understand that. Stuart, so what's the biggest challenge? You do the other Grand Slams in other countries far away from home. What happens when you get home? How much more difficult is it?
Oh, what, in terms of travel?
No, in terms of covering the event, because your home office, the bosses are closer, or your friends are closer. You're not nearly as anonymous as you would be in Australia or New York or Paris.
Yeah, no, it's actually, I mean, when we get back, I mean, you know, when you're at home, actually, it's actually time to chill, really. I mean, yeah, you keep an eye on things, but, you know, I'm quite fortunate. I suppose the others are also fortunate as well that we don't really go into the office much, and we're not expected to go into the office much, so when we get back, yeah, you keep an eye on things, but yeah, you try and chill out a bit as well.
And Barry, somebody was telling me that they think that originally the thought was 3 weeks one more week between the French Open and Wimbledon. The 3 weeks would give you a chance to rest a little bit after the French Open, but in effect what it is one extra week of work.
Absolutely, yeah. The week before Wimbledon, to me, I don't know how Stuart feels about this, but to me is the toughest week of the year, because you have to be about 3 places at once. You're always making a judgment call on what's the best place to be. You know, do you go to Stoke Park for the Boodles event? Do you come here for qualifying? Do you go to Roehampton or Hurlingham or something like that? It's a tough one. So once the tournament starts rolling and the sun keeps shining, it's a doddle after what we went through last week.
Well, that's good. Stuart, actually, I know because I bumped into him the other night, actually lives on High Street in Wimbledon. How does Wimbledon High Street change during the championships?
It's a lot noisier, that's for sure. Recorded music blasting out at the Dog and Fox the other night, but no, there's a great buzz around the village, and it's a very pleasant place to sort of live all year round. I mean, it was lovely earlier this year with the snow and stuff, totally different, but I mean, during the fortnight, there's such a buzz around there. You see a lot of players. In fact, I saw one player who shall remain unnamed this morning at 6 a.m. Outside Joe and the Juice, and I think he was just getting back from a night out. So yeah, good bit of player spotting up there, and there's a good bit of nightlife too.
So the big question is that player still in the tournament?
No.
Okay. Excuse me, Barry. There is a famous, unfortunately no longer with us, tennis writer named John Parsons. He was a member of the All England Club. Are any of the current tennis writers or tennis correspondents, as they're known in Britain, likely to ever become a full member or a partial member of the All England Club?
Not likely, and as far as I'm aware, not even remotely interested. There was one, but he is no longer a tennis correspondent because, unfortunately, the All England Club showed him the door. No, I don't think any of the current batch would be remotely interested in being a member of the All England Club.
And what would surprise any of our viewers about inside the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club? I'm sure you've been there once or twice. What sort of struck you the most about the place?
Well, how quiet it is during other times of the year. I think some of the people you see as well. I mean, a couple of times I've been down here just, for meetings or whatever else, you bump into someone like Graham Lasso. I'm not sure if you're aware who that is, but former...
You play football?
Soccer,
in the NFL?
Soccer,
okay.
Tom.
All right, sorry.
Former England footballer, and yeah, he's a member here. He's down here quite a bit, and then I think Barry Trevor McDonald is.
Trevor
Yeah.
McDonald, the famous newscaster, yeah.
So I know these are not sort of international names, but it's sort of surprising figures down here that you wouldn't expect to see as members. But
McDonald's a sort of British version of Walter Cronkite.
Oh, great. Barry, another question is the All England Club, the way it operates, there's a meeting, I think, every day to do the schedule, and they sometimes invite journalists to go to that meeting. And it's
Not since John Parsons passed away, they haven't. No.
Oh, is that right?
There's not a journalist that goes onto that meeting.
And you've been at Wimbledon for at least 4 or 5 years, maybe another few decades longer. What's your most interesting experience inside the All England Club?
Interesting experience inside the All England Club. Well, it has to be when Andy Murray won the thing. You know, it was just, for years we covered players that if they made the middle weekend, it was an event. And then for somebody to come out and actually win the thing, it was, and that was on the back of the Olympic gold medal here as well. So I suppose it's a bit boring, it's a bit, tennis geeky, but that was the most interesting thing that happened inside the All England Club to me.
And what's the most, sorry, Stuart?
well, I was just going to say, just a quick story for you. That morning, well, the first time he won, I actually nearly died in the All England Club that morning.
Oh, who cares? Who cares? Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe a slight exaggeration, but it could have resulted in that. I actually, that morning I had, as is traditional, as Barry will know, I have a cooked breakfast in the morning. I can still do that at this age, I'm just getting away with it. And I got a bit of bacon stuck in my throat, and fortunately...
Heimlich maneuver?
Well, I was sort of pushing myself. I was about to try and get someone else involved, but actually the people in the office at that time, they thought I just had a rough night the night before. But yeah, I got it out eventually and recovered.
And so what's your favorite food inside the All England Club? Have you had anything that's at all decent?
The sausages in the morning are quite good. Yeah.
Barry, for you?
Strawberries and cream.
Oh, really? And what about on the alcoholic beverage side of things?
Well, very nice Pims here. Very nice
good.
Pims, yes.
Stuart?
Good Chenin Blanc at night, yeah.
Oh, very good. Well, listen, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being part of Roundabout Wimbledon. We'll be back sooner than you think.